involved in.
Yeah.
Some people maybe remember. And then I'm just as we speak today, this morning, an email we were going out to the network telling them who the next leader of the network is going to be. So yeah, it took a bit of time, but yeah, I'm really happy with the person who's taken on the challenge.
I'm all goose pimply, Anna. That's very exciting.
Yeah, so I'm really pleased to share that. That's really nice. I think for question 2, I think I'm learning that I need to be maybe more conscious of my practice, because I think I've been aware that I've sort of, like I do with many courses, I kind of go on a course and then put it into a box. And I maybe haven't been as active, or it hasn't been in the forefront of my mind as much as I would like. But it's definitely been there. I've noticed kind of, yeah. So something about maybe practice or routines that help me enact some of the things we learned a bit better. And I think that's maybe something that needs to continue. I still need to learn what I can say no to in order that I can show up for the things that I do say yes to. And I don't think I've pretty resolved that yet. But then for the third, and which sort of leads me to the third question, in terms of, I'm not really sure, and I was discussing this with Alejandra yesterday when we met, whether I need more coaching specifically, or whether I just need some form of accountability.
Structure that you create.
Or just something to help me enact and work on the practice.
Okay.
But yeah, because I don't want to, I'm still struggling with too many demands on my time, and a slight overwhelm that comes from that. And I wouldn't want to add anything that would further that stress, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Because I don't think that enables me to be my best self either.
Yeah, got you.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a note of that, if you don't mind. I'm going to Anna creating an accountability structure. I don't know, just so that we don't lose track of what people are bringing up here, and what you're a request for, so that we within the session we hope to be able to respond to that. Does that make sense to you, Nicholas?
Yes, I think you'll find, Anna, in the session today that if you really bring that, if you have that in the front of your awareness, that this will make a big difference to that. Well, you can use this, what we're doing today, to make a big difference. That. Did
you say in saying no?
Yeah, it's not. I think I'm getting better at saying no to things, but it's learning what I should say no to and what I should say in order to.
It's still a no thing.
I'm still uncertain about the consequences of saying no to what might end up being a good opportunity. If that makes sense.
I think we'll get to that in life sentences, possibly. Yeah. Or maybe rackets.
Yeah. But also, I want to say thank you for organising the session, because it's probably coming at a good point for me personally.
Right. Well, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, I appreciate it. There's lots of other things going on. So
good.
Both.
Ian said he'd share.
I think he meant on speaking. Did you? Oh, go on then.
No, I meant on. Can you hear me, by the way? Yeah, I meant I'm okay with recording, but I'm also happy to share my answers whenever. So in terms of the creative future, it's quite a long time since I completed the course, and so I haven't necessarily thought about everything in terms of creating a future, but hopefully I've been to some extent living in the world of being a leader, and so I've been doing that. And so I guess my example is that shortly after completing the course, I started a new role in the university, which I've now retired from, but I did that for 2 years, and the role was an SEP created role. I don't know how familiar people are with it, but the Student Experience Project, this vast restructure that was done. So the role was created as part of SEP, and it was a leadership role. And almost written into the job description was be an advocate for SEP, which was not necessarily the most popular activity. This whole restructure and reorganization was something that the team that I took on leading was very concerned about, and that the kind of service users, the students, and especially academics, were very concerned about. And I had to not only be part of the implementation of that, only a small part, but as part of the role, I had to be an advocate for it. So I had to kind of create a future for myself in which SEP was functioning and working and a good idea, which was quite a difficult kind of maneuver to make. And then when it actually did launch, and there was lots of kind of anticipated problems with it, some of which were worse than anticipated, I think some better. But I had the responsibility for both leading this team and engaging with the service users of it as an advocate for this process. So it wasn't really an option to kind of hold up my hands and say, well, this has been done to us. It's not my fault. And so I'm not sure entirely. Sorry?
Did you have to choose it?
Yes, that's it.
Right.
I had, in taking on the role, I had to actually convince myself that it was a good idea, or ultimately would be. And I've kind of left before we see the end result of it, so I can't say that it totally played out. I haven't seen how it ended, but I think over the 2 years, it felt like we made progress. We went through the difficult patches, and we were making progress with it. And I don't think I could have done that from a purely kind of intellectual standpoint, almost just kind of a tick off the pros and cons. I had to really live that world.
Brilliant.
So you created
Excellent.
a future in the SCP that wasn't going to happen anyway. Great.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Do you want to look at the other two questions, or should we move?
Should we just get everybody into group?
Yeah. Do you want to click open the breakouts now? Are you ready for breakouts? Oh, I'm going to click the button.
Okay.